So today we will continue our discussion on alternating currents. Now I have an alternating source which provides EMF. That EMF is E0 sin omega t. This is sinusoidal supply. Let's say E0 sin omega t. So this is my supply voltage. It's not constant, it's varying with the time, and it's varying sinusoidally. Now I am connecting this one to a resistor. When I connect this one to a resistor, then what happens? Then what will be the current in the circuit? Let us see. Now I am connecting this supply. So the symbol for this supply is, this is the symbol for that supply. So now I am connecting that to a resistor. This is the symbol I have. Now I am connecting to a resistor. So resistance of the resistor is, let's say, R. Now this one, the supply here is E equals to E0 sin omega t. So when you connect a source to the resistor, you see some current in the circuit. Maybe that current can be I. Let us say I is the current. You can apply here loop rule. The loop rule says the algebraic sum of voltage across all elements in the loop is 0. Now in this loop we got only two elements. One is a resistor and one is connecting, one is your supply. So then voltage across the supply will be E, and now voltage across this one will be minus IR equals to 0. If you have a direct supply, you get the same equation. But now my E is E0 sin omega t. So I will write down E0 sin omega t minus IR equals to 0. From here, you can write IR is E0 sin omega t, I equals to E0 by R sin omega t. Now you can also write down this as I equals to I0 sin omega t. So here I0 is, I wrote here I0 equals to E0 by, I wrote E0 by R as I0. So in this E0, because your EMF is alternating EMF, and that has a maximum value of E can be plus E0, minimum value can be minus E0. Similarly, you will get current also. The maximum value of current can be I0, minimum value of current is minus I0, and both follows the same functions. So E is E0 sin omega t, I is also I0 sin omega t. So with the different magnitudes. Now if I draw the graph here for E0 and I0, so let us take this graph here. So look at this graph. So in this I am taking let's say x-axis, this is the x-axis, I am taking omega t, and on y-axis I am taking current and voltage. So then let us say how current varies and how voltage varies. So now current signal is E0 sin omega t. E is E0 sin omega t. So that is sine function starts from 0. So now it is starting from 0 and it will go to maximum value. Maybe that is the maximum value, and again comes back to 0, and again will go to minimum value. Maybe this can be the minimum value, and again it will come back to the 0. So this is how your voltage signal varies with time, with omega t. Now how current varies? See, I equals to I0, let us even give the details here. So now this will be your E0. and this will also be E0, but it is in negative direction. You can write it's minus E0. Now this is 0 and omega t is here, let's say pi. This is your pi and there it is 2 pi. So I have taken for one cycle, full cycle. Now when omega t is 0, your signal is 0, voltage signal is 0. I mean signal is 0. Then when omega t is pi, your EMF once again 0. When omega t is 2 pi, then again you get 0. So now at omega t is pi by 2, this is that. At omega t is pi by 2, you get maximum signal, that is E0. At when omega t is, let's say 3 pi by 2, once again you get minimum. So that is a minimum. Now see, let us draw I current also. Current is given by this function. I is I0. Let's look at this function. I0 sine omega t. So let us draw that here. Magnitude of I0 may not be equals to E0 because I0 is given as E0 by R. I0 is given as E0 by R. So definitely there will be some gap. Now let us draw. Maybe for this situation I am taking I0 is something less than E0. So I am taking the graph like this now. So this is what my current signal is. So you see here, this is your I0 plus I0 and this will be your minus I0. That will be your minus I0. Now I is 0 when omega t is 0. I is 0 when omega t is pi and 2 pi. But I is maximum when omega t is pi by 2. I is minimum when omega t is 3 pi by 2. So this is how your current is changing with omega t. Now look at one more thing here. Whenever E is 0, I is also 0. Whenever E is maximum, I is also maximum. When E is minimum, I is also minimum. And both are following the same functions. So we will say that here current and here current, let us write here, current and voltage signals are in phase. Or in phase means both follows the same function, maybe sine function or cosine function. If EMF is following cosine function, your I also follows cosine function. If E is following sine function, then your I signal also follows the same function. But your maximum values may be different. But they occur at the same point. So that is the meaning for phase. Same phase. Now, if you look at the power dissipation in the circuit, for example, if I draw only current, let us draw once again the current signal here. So this is the current and this is omega t. If I draw the graph for that, I get something like this. This is the graph. Now this is 0 and this is pi and this is 2 pi and this is pi by 2, this is 3 pi by 2. Okay. So now you look at the current. The average current, if you look at for one cycle, you will get 0. Because from 0 to pi, you are taking positive currents, and from pi to 2 pi, you are getting 2 pi, from pi to 2 pi, because from here to here the gap is pi, from here to here gap is once again pi. The delay is pi, but here you are getting positive, and here you are getting negative. So once you take average current in cycle, you will get 0. So average current in a full cycle is 0. It does not mean that the power dissipation in the circuit is 0, because even though average current is 0 for one cycle, but power dissipation cannot be 0, because the power equation is given by I square R. So see here, I said from 0 to pi, I is positive. From pi to 2 pi, I is negative. So power will be always positive for any values of current. So for example, if you take first half cycle, I is positive, then I square will be positive. And for next half cycle, I is negative, but still I square will be positive, then power will be always positive. So let us compute what is the average power dissipation in the circuit. Now that average power equals to I square R, then I is given as I0 sin omega t. So this is what my I is. Then you can write down I square means I0 square sin square omega t times R. This is the power dissipation in the circuit. Now power equals to, and in this equation, I square is something like a constant, R is also constant. You can take it out. Now I can write down that as I0 square R sin square omega t. So this is your power dissipation. Now I am calculating the average power dissipation. If I calculate average power dissipation in the circuit, then average value of sin square omega t is 1 by 2. So if you take average power dissipation, the average power dissipation in the circuit, that will be equals to, because I0 square R, that is common, then you have to take average value of sin square omega t. Then average value of sin square omega t is 1 by 2. So when average value of sin square omega t is 1 by 2, then your average power dissipation becomes I0 square R by 2. Now I can rewrite this equation as P equals to, now I am rewriting this equation as I0 by root 2 whole square R. So this is what my power dissipation in this. So now power dissipation is I0 by root 2 whole square R. Now I am calling this I0 by root 2 as RMS. RMS or even effective current you can call it as. So now IRMS, root means square current, or I effective, both are same. So mainly I will be using term RMS. So if I write down here IRMS will be I0 by root 2. So this is what my IRMS. It means that if I have a direct voltage which gives current I0 by root 2 or IRMS, then the power dissipation in the circuit will be equals to IRMS square R. If it means if I have a signal, if I have a voltage signal, let's say direct signal that is connected to a resistor, or let's say V is voltage here. Now if that supply is sending current I in the circuit, let us say for instance, then power dissipation in this circuit will be I square R. But instead of direct voltage, if I have like alternating voltage, like here, like alternating voltage, then that also establish alternating current in the circuit, and the power dissipation will be now P equals to IRMS square times R. So IRMS square times R, and now here in case of direct current, then that I is equivalent to IRMS in case of your alternating current. So this is what your power dissipation now. The power dissipation will be equals to I square R. In case of direct current, alternating current, you get IRMS square R. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue.